What's going on, my Cardano friends? It is your friend Jack here, and in today's video, we're going to be going over lending your NFTs or lending ADA and using NFTs as collateral with a new Cardano DeFi platform, Lending Pond. Now, this video is not sponsored. No one's paying me to make this. I just think it is an awesome dApp, and I would like to talk about it and tell you how maybe you can use it and benefit from it. But if you do not want to use the dApp, or maybe you want to keep some ADA and stake it to earn passive ADA on your ADA and support the channel, you can do so with the Jack stake pool. Now, let's get right into Lending Pond. What is it? Well, essentially, it is what I mentioned. It's accessing liquidity through NFTs. If you provide an NFT, you can lend some ADA. And if you don't pay back the ADA, hey, your NFT is going to go to the person who gave you the loan because you took their ADA. And this works in a pretty cool way. I'm going to show you in a second here, but you can also lend out other people ADA and get their NFTs for cheap if they don't pay you back, or get interest paid in ADA determined by the person who you're setting the contract with. So you know beforehand how much ADA you're going to get for it, the risks and rewards. But into the process, what this does allow for some more liquidity to go around with NFTs, and it's all powered by smart contracts. So it's a more trustless way of doing things than just saying, hey, friend, can I borrow, 1,000 ADA? Here's this NFT, and if I don't pay you back, then I'll see you in a few years, and we could just forget about it. You don't have to do that. You have a smart contract in place, no sketchy middlemans. It's much more efficient, and also it's pretty freaking awesome. Let's go ahead and let's test it out. First, I want to mention you can follow them on Twitter for more news and updates. And also, they do have a partnership with SundaeSwap. So essentially, you're going to be able to use tokens that are available in SundaeSwap and put in loans and borrow assets pegged to these tokens as new contracts rather than just ADA, which is even more exciting as not everyone wants to use ADA. Maybe you want to use a stable coin. Maybe you want to use Sunday token, whatever else. There's a lot more options by doing this, and it frees up just using ADA as liquidity, but also being able to use more stable solutions as liquidity too. First things first, when we scroll down, you can see there is some offers here. People are lending out 10,000 ADA, 7% interest 4 weeks, offering up a space bud. Someone has a NFT here, 1,400 ADA, 5% interest, 2 weeks, and so on and so forth. They also have a description of what it is. We've kind of went over this. Basically, there's no KYC, there's no credit checks. You're putting up NFTs as collateral. If you do not pay back the loan, those NFTs are taken via the smart contract and given to the person sending you the lending. A really big use case of this is people who have a lot of NFTs, but not very much liquidity. This allows people to not sell their NFTs, but you can hold them and also get some ADA as liquidity. So yes, you're going to have to pay this back. It's not like, hey, I just have this ADA here, I don't have to sell my NFT, and I'm completely all liquid. You are going to have to pay it back, but it does offer a lot more efficient capital in the market for people who just hold NFTs to get in, borrow some ADA, and do other things with that capital. I myself have seen people sell Space Buds or other big projects because they need to mint something, when in reality, if they had a service like this, they could have lent it out or, got a loan, paid interest on it, minted another project, whatever they're going to mint, and then pay it back because they would have that extra capital, and it would be worth the time for them to pay back the interest, even if it is, a couple hundred ADA, or usually it's going to be less, but even if it's a lot of ADA, it's going to be worth their time because they didn't have to sell the asset and they got the liquidity they needed in the time they needed, and now they can return it back and still have that benefit of using up that liquidity without having to actually sell their NFT. You can see the team on their page here. I don't really know any of the team. I do know Stockpika. I've followed them for a while on Twitter, and they seem to post some pretty good content. But overall, we have some interesting people on the team. Seems like they're doing a great job so far. Nothing really to complain about. If you want to know more, I'll leave the link to Lending Pond in the description in case you want to know any of these specific questions. But they're going to be there. Now let's go ahead and let's test it out for ourselves. So when I click the lending tab at the top, you can see here that right now everything's in ADA. There is going to be other options to offer or get loans in other methods when SundaeSwap partnership is bridged to the smart contract, I believe. But right now we have some options here. We can send loans to these people. Essentially, we press send loan, we sign a transaction, we send the amount of ADA here, and we get our percent back, 7.5% for this one in 2 weeks. So seems pretty reasonable. That is quite a nice return. I do wish they were in kind of, you could see the amount directly here, but overall, it's pretty good. They could put in kind of an ROA here 2 weeks isn't very long. I'm not going to be setting any loans up right now because I do need liquidity myself for an upcoming mint, the Makasi land mint. So I'm not going to be setting out any of these loans today. The minimum on here seems to be about 500 ADA, but it is looking pretty good. If I was going to do one, it'd probably be this Metapixel one, but at the moment I need the liquidity, so I'm not going to be doing this. But in the future, I likely will be utilizing this to earn some passive yield with my ADA on top of the existing yields already. On here, they only support certain assets right now. Likely there's a verification process for assets, but on here in my wallet, I have about 150 NFTs. Only about 40 of them show up, and those are all going to be my Makasis pretty much, and 2 of my handles right now. And that's what I could do. Basically, if I want to lend out one of these, or if I want to get some ADA for myself, I could click on one of these. I could say I want 500 ADA. The floor for these is around 500. It's a bit less. It's going to be a 2-day loan, and the interest on that is going to be 8%, let's say. Then we press lists and we sign a transaction. It's going to give away the NFT, put it into the smart contract, and then if someone were to accept this, they would then send the smart contract 500 ADA. Smart contract would send us 500 ADA. And we would then have to pay it back within the 2 days to get our NFT back. Otherwise, the other person gets it. So that's pretty much how it works. It's pretty simple. I hope you guys understand it. And if you don't see the use case behind this, let me know in the comments, because I really do think that I could have used this back a few weeks ago when I was trying to get liquidity. I had to sell off some NFTs that I didn't really want to sell, but I did need the liquidity to do other things with. If I had a service like this, or if I was using a service like this, I could have easily paid back the loan and also not had to sell any of my NFTs. That's pretty much it for the video today. I know, not too crazy, nothing too spectacular, but I do think this is a great dApp and high quality one at that, and very useful for a lot of people. I'm likely going to be using it more and more, and as I use it more and more, I will show you guys how I've made out, how I've profited from using it, how I benefited from using it, and maybe how I messed up and lost a bunch of ADA from using it. I guess we'll see, only time will tell, but if you want to see those videos too, let me know in the future, let me know in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video. It's been your friend Jack. Peace out.